Hi everyone. I have strict directions to not vlog for very long because I need to go to sleep. And I have my retainer in. They're clear. So if you can't understand me well, sorry, not sorry. So today was surgery day. And I was doing really well, but the past half hour has not been well. So went in for surgery at like 9:30. I had to take a COVID test, passed. Had to take a pregnancy test. That was funny because A, I'm on Lupron, and B, well, I don't need to go into my sex life, I guess, with all of you, but needless to say, it would have been pretty impossible for me to be pregnant. So it came back negative. I just thought it was funny because I don't know, I don't know the relation and I don't need to look it up, but like why you would need to take a pregnancy test before surgery. Well, I guess they are cutting into you. Anyway, so I had my surgery not at Newton Wellesley. I had it at Mass General in Danvers, which is not like a major, like MGH is a major hospital and has a fantastic reputation. But Danvers is a pretty small location. But it was such a nicer experience, like not being in a like hospital. It's an outpatient, like they don't do overnights, or very rarely would do overnights unless something went wrong. Hope you guys can hear me okay. I can go a little bit closer. But just such a better experience than when I had my double mastectomy. The room was like 3 times the size because the building's pretty new, and like the colors were all like soft and like muted colors, just calm colors, and everyone was just like super friendly and filling me in on stuff, asked me like a lot of questions and stuff. They were very good about like, so I put tips and tricks I'm gonna get into too, but they were very good about accommodating things that like I wanted to make sure they focused on outside of just like obviously the revision. So and I put notes on my phone because when you go in, I was only allowed to have my glasses because I can't see without them. My glasses, my license, and my phone. That's it. No purses, nothing. So anyway, so I got there. He was running late, which is fine because like whoever went before me, like obviously needed more time, and if I needed more time, I wouldn't want him to rush to get to the next person either. So I had a lot of downtime, so I was on my phone. They had hooked me like my IV up in my hand. I'd show you, but my left arm is like wicked sore. Yeah, they put an IV in my left hand with saline. They didn't do anesthesia until I got into the OR, which was interesting because that's not how I remembered it. Last time I had a nerve block in my spine. They didn't do that this time. I can't even tell you what kind of anesthesia I had. I'll find out when I have my follow-up next week, so stay tuned. Yeah, so I had written notes in my phone of things to ask the doctor about. One of them was the fact that I have some lymphedema, or not lymphedema, neuropathy in my left hand. And when I had my pre-op call, they said, make sure you tell the nurse that, that you have that. Yeah, a couple things that were interesting actually that I want to share with you. Like comparing the double mastectomy procedure to this revision one. Is that someone knocking? Is that someone knocking? I don't know. Yeah, just things that were different. So yeah, I put things in my phone so I wouldn't forget. So I brought up the neuropathy in my hand, and I don't know like what they were doing that would you know, make sure that wouldn't happen. But I kept saying there's a second thing, and I can't remember what it was, and I didn't put it on my phone, and she said, your shoulder? I'm like, oh yeah, my shoulder. I told her like I was in PT for a year. I don't really want that to happen again. So, you know, they made a note that I had frozen shoulder, and like, you know, do whatever they're going to do so that way, like, it doesn't happen again. And it's not just like from surgery. I mean, the frozen shoulder kind of builds up over time. So, what else? I was on my phone. I listened to, I thought I wanted to listen to like chill music on the drive-in, but I wanted to listen to my badass music playlist. So that was like empowering for me to do that. I almost got like on the drive-in, even though my emotions have been really weird about this whole thing, and I've been more emotional, like sad than you like last time. But I was in a very like empowered, like kick-ass place when I was driving in, which wasn't expected, but that's what I did. And then even when I was there, and you know, they said he needs an extra half an hour. They're like, do you want the TV on? And I'm like, no, because TV is like drama, which is ironic because like you might be watching me on a TV right now talking about my drama. So I was on my phone, and I went on Snapchat, and I'm just like playing with filters and making like stupid videos with the filters and stuff just to cheer me up and do something lighthearted. So yeah, so then eventually like the anesthesiologist came in to talk to me about what they were going to do. Oh, my teeth, that was cool. So they did not intubate me. I explained to him about my crowns, and like I want to keep my teeth not chipped when I wake up from surgery. Several times they asked me about implants, not those implants, like metal implants, and I do have a what do you call it? A tooth implant. I'm not wording right. There's dental implant. That's it. So they do need to know if you have like metal things inside of you. But my teeth, I said, I'm like, I just got a credit card bill for a lot of money, and I would like to not have to pay more to fix my teeth. So please be careful with my teeth. So they didn't intubate me. He like left and then came back and had this like epiphany idea. The name of what they used is long and scientific, and I don't remember. It was like a laryngeal something or other, but it serves the same function as intubating, but I still don't understand like what he said. Something about my uvula. It still like keeps the thing open, but they can put a bite block in my mouth. So that way when I bite, if I do clench during surgery, I'm biting down on the bite block and not on my teeth. I mean, the bite block would be on my molars or something, so my front teeth wouldn't hit. So that was pretty cool that they did that. I was very happy. And as far as I can see, I haven't analyzed, but my teeth aren't chipped. So success. So the surgery, I think, was about an hour. He had booked the OR for an hour and a half. It was interesting because I was fine with stuff, and then as soon as they put the sides of the bed up and started rolling me out of the room where I started into the OR, that was when I started to cry, because she said, you know, here we go. And I'm like, I just started to cry, and because it was all like happening. But anyways, taking a step back, because I forgot to mention plastics. When my plastic surgeon came in, like, you know, talked for a short bit. He's just so calm and relaxing. He's got a great bedside manner. And like, even when I stood up, he's like, they look great. And I'm like, and here's what's not working, and I don't want to be in pain anymore. And, you know, like invisible things. You can't, like when someone's in chronic pain, you can't see that from the outside. People are like, you look great, you know, from the outside, if I'm wearing whatever clothes I'm wearing or padded bra or whatever it is. But that doesn't mean that like I'm not in chronic pain. If you spend enough time with me, like I would be like in the middle of some conversation because I would have some pain in my boob, but he understands that. So he asked me to stand up, and then I've washed them off here because they had like blue lines here, and I realized it was probably creeping out my kids to see that. So I used I didn't, Barb used a makeup wipe. I didn't want to use anything like soapy because I didn't want it to drip down into like my, my surgical tape concoction stuff. So when I went in, he said that he was gonna like write it down as doing reconstruction on both sides in case he needed to get into both sides. And again, at this point, I don't have the logistics of exactly what he did. I'll find that out next week. I don't need to know that right now. The whole point of the follow-up is to go over like what he actually did in surgery. My understanding is that he did lipo on both sides. I know that he did lipo on both sides because I can feel it because it hurts. That's more of a dull ache. The left side, he said he was just gonna like fix. He originally said he was gonna switch out the implant, so I'm not even sure if he kept the old implant or not. But he did fix the or said he was gonna fix the pocket, the alloderm pocket, and like bring it over more. So when I look down right now, I have a little bit of cleavage, which is kind of nice. I'm like, that was the whole point, was to move it over, because when it was over this way, like there was just nothing there, and it was just, it hurt and it was creepy, and it was like I could like just feel this divot, this hole where there was nothing there, which is just like a constant reminder that like I had breast cancer and my breast tissue removed and like there's nothing there and I can't, no. And it was causing like physical pain too with my implant moving around the way that it did. But like I said, I'll find out more information next week and fill you in on what happened. Maybe not like the super nitty gritty, but again, there's a very large percent of people that do go in for revision surgeries after their double mastectomy. So if you've had double mastectomy, and even if you're like a year out or 2 years out, you really do have to wait like a year and a half to see what like the final project looks like. Before I think before going in for another surgery. But there's some people that have surgery like 5 times. One of my nurses actually was a breast cancer survivor too. And like one thing I wanted to mention too is, so I had 6 lymph nodes taken from my right side and 2 from my left. And they keep a blood pressure cuff on you the whole time during surgery. And they had one of the nurses put a big sign on the right side of the bed that said, do not use my right side for like an IV or blood pressure cuff or anything because of the lymph nodes. And then the nurse who came in that had breast cancer. Oh, sorry. Oh, that did not taste good. She said that like it is old school thinking that you can't have a blood pressure cuff on your right side or even use your right side as an IV site. So she put the cuff on my right arm. The only reason I can tell that is because I have a red line on my arm from where the cuff was. And they also wrapped these things around my legs, which I remember from last time too. I think they just keep the blood flowing in your legs so that you don't get blood clots. So yeah, I went in and it was kind of interesting. Like I started getting nervous as I was going to the operating room because it was a pretty long, it seemed like a long trip to me, like lots of hallways she went down to get there. But it was like being in like a, one of those medical TV shows where you go in and there's a whole bunch of people and they're all doing their jobs and stuff. And you see those like super big, lights on top. There was like 2 sets of really big lights on top. And then, I shimmied myself to get from the rolly bed into the OR table. And I just remember they said they were going to give me something to take the edge off. I don't remember if they said that actually when I was in the OR or if that was when I was in the pre-op room. And I don't know if that's just what they say. I have no idea. But she took my glasses off before she rolled me into the OR. So, and my vision's awful, so like I couldn't see, but there was nothing to sign at that point. I was done with paperwork. And then I don't remember anything after that. I imagine they gave me something because I don't remember. So I went in, I don't know the exact timing. It's definitely after, like, I feel like it was around 11:30 or so. And the surgery was like an hour, they said. And then I woke up at like 1:30, maybe 2. It wasn't too long. But I was kind of like in and out, and then eventually the nurse came in and started talking to me, and then I was like up. So, and then I didn't leave the hospital until, or maybe it was 1:30, because I feel like I left the hospital around 2:30, which seems like not a long time, but like, I was feeling okay. I mean, the thing is, like, I'm a righty, so a lot of the drama last time with the right side was that I was super protective of it. Now I'm super protective of my left side because that's where they did most of the stuff. But I'm not going to try to lift my hands over my head, but like, because I'm a righty, I can like do stuff. Like I couldn't pick up this water bottle. I mean, even, I shouldn't say that because I'm kind of overdoing. I can pick up that water bottle, but I feel it in here. So I just, part of me is just, I need to stop and I need to go to bed. But I wanted to chronicle like what was going on today, mostly for me, no offense, in the event that I have to have this done again. But when he saw my chest, he's like, you know, they look great. And he took his ruler out and he's making marks and stuff. And then he kept saying to me, because I said, like, my body image has been like a thing, and you know, if you know, you know, like, I need to love my body, and I don't need to have like 25,000 revisions. Like, I don't need to get bigger implants. I don't, right now, I don't think I'm going to want bigger implants because they're just heavier. I did, by the way, weird good news. I weighed in this morning 7 pounds less than I was at my last doctor appointment. Granted, I've been in the bathroom for like the past 4 days, I think, with nerves, even though I didn't feel nervous. But I weighed myself this morning and it was like, it was the next group of 10 down. So it ended with a 9 and I was like, oh, that's so exciting. I was happy. So, yes, they wheeled me downstairs. My son took me home, and my younger son, like, I live, well, I don't need to give you details of that, but there's no elevator in my building, so I had to walk up the stairs. And I was much dizzier this time going up the stairs, but I could hold on with my right hand on the railing for support, and my younger son does powerlifting, so he was behind me and that was helpful. And my older son was there obviously because he drove and picked me up, and or he dropped off and picked me up, and then Barb came too. But like last time I needed to have a stool to take a break, I didn't feel like I needed to take a break this time. I just was like walking slower. So all that work that I did at Sims, by the way, the strength and motion thing, even though it was only like, what, 5 or 6 weeks or something, 4 of them were at, or no, 5 of them were at the hospital, and then I did like extra stuff. And even this morning before I went in, I meditated this morning. Ugh, I took the Oxy, that's why I'm like, ugh. I meditated this morning, and I rolled out on the foam roller for my back and my shoulders. I don't know if that did anything, but I felt more at ease and just helped like calm me and my body down a little bit to have that time. Couldn't shave my armpits. You have to have 48 hours of hair growth in your armpits. Can't use deodorant, no lotion. I don't know if I went over that last time. But when I was happy that I could just use my right arm to get up the stairs. And then like, I mean, I have my pillow concoction here, and I would move the camera, but I just can't. But it's the same, if you rewind to the vlog that I did about my drains before, it's the same, basically the same setup. Interesting fun fact, I don't have drains. They gave me the post-op instructions, and it had a chart for drains. And when I woke up and I moved around, and I'm like expecting to feel like bulky things around me, and I'm like, where are my drains? And she's like, no, no drains, which is good news. But then like the fluid has to go somewhere, so my I can't lift my hand, but I can't lift my elbow. It just hurts. But my fingers are freaking like sausages. They're so like they're so swollen. I have compression socks on. Maybe tomorrow I'll put compression pants on too. And I've been pushing a lot of fluids. I forgot. I'm so grateful that I have friends that are nurses, because I forgot. They're like, you know, push fluids, elevate your feet. I'm like, oh yeah, elevate your feet, which you'd think you remember, but there's just 1,000 things to have to remember. But like a cool thing is, like when I was at the hospital before I was discharged, I had to like super pee, and she's like, they wanted me to pee when I was there. And last time with the mastectomy, I was like, I could barely slide my ass over to get into a commode. And now I'm like standing up, walking unassisted. She was next to me, but unassisted to the bathroom, which is directly across the hall from where my room was. But I could do that and then like still be able to, oh, I just remember my toilet paper roll ran out. I have to ask someone to change that. I was able to like pull I had gotten dressed at that point, so I was able to like pull my sweatpants down and wipe. I know it sounds like weird, but even with the double mastectomy, like it's hard to wipe your ass because you can't like put your hand behind your back, so it's just like awkward, and you just have to figure out different ways of doing it. So definitely a different procedure from last time. All the people that have told me like it'll be better, you know, you don't know if they're saying that because they want you to feel better or if it's actually like true, but it is, I guess, true, at least for me. So yeah, so my fingers are swollen. My sensory stuff, it's kicking in a little bit now. I'm not quite sure why. So next to me, well, first of all, my mouth was wicked dry. So, this came in my Hope kit. I have, you look back, there, like the thumbnail, it says like Hope kit. The things in there like are super specific to like really work for this kind of surgery, because I was using chapstick and it just gets absorbed too quickly and my lips were so dry. But this is lip oil. I can't read what it says. RK by Kiss Hydrating Lip Oil Treatment Gloss. So it will ruin your sheets, by the way, because it's like glossy and oily if you turn on your side, but I'm not laying on my side. So this has been really good. My lips have not been dry because they're like coated in like this shellac. It's not shellac, it's just oil. My fan is next to me, the small one. Vomit bucket. I have not thrown up, but I have been like really nauseous even since I left. Like I had a bag in the car because I was concerned. The water bottle, like this is the one I got from the Hope kit. Again, a little heavy, and even as the day is progressing right now, or my blog is progressing, it's getting kind of too much to lift. But the purple button is the only thing that you have to like hit to open it. And it's easy just to push it shut. And yeah, I have the alcohol swab things that I sniffed last time when I had my mastectomies, because they help with the nausea. But this time around, like I smelled it and I was like, oh my God, like no, that's not gonna work. Came home and I put like relaxing music on, like the spa music channel on my Alexa. I don't want to say her name like Voldemort. She'll turn on. So yeah, and I've been like hot, cold, more so than I usually am, and peeing a lot, which is good. But like I got up and I had dinner. People started bringing food, which is just such a great gift. But I sat at the kitchen table and I was eating, and I'm like, I wasn't able to sit at the kitchen table last time I had my surgery and eat. But I had my arm down because the chair I was sitting in did not have armrests. and after a while, I'm like, my fingers feel weird, and I pick them up, and they're like freaking sausages. I'm like, here we go. So I switched the chair, or I didn't switch the chair out. Barb switched the chair out, so now I have one that has armrests. So I need to stop talking because I need to go to bed. I'm tired. I'm going to be up several times tonight just because of the way the meds are. Last time I'm like, I'm not chasing the pain this time. I'm not a drug taker, so to be on oxy and gabapentin and all this stuff, like for the first couple days, like I need to just follow it. I can't let it go to the point that like I don't need to be a fucking martyr, you know, like I just need to take it. So and what's interesting too is when you have the mastectomies, they say that days 2 and 3 after you're home are the worst days because like all your anesthesia is worn off. For me, and this, I feel like because the surgery was shorter, less anesthesia, I was feeling good walking around, not walking around a lot, but like to the bathroom and back like 3 times and sitting at the kitchen table to eat dinner. But just now, I am getting nauseous. I took Oxy for the second time, I think, and I started like super getting nauseous, and I'm like, I just, you know, I needed to get to go to bed. I kept falling asleep anyway. I did too much. I did too much walking back and forth. Tomorrow, my goal is to be able to like get down the stairs and take a walk with my son. And by a walk, I mean, it's probably gonna be like a 5-minute walk, but at least I can like be outside, and we'll see. I don't know. I don't want to push myself, but I don't want to be stagnant either, because moving around is just going to help me heal. But it's a very fine line between like doing too much and not moving at all. Because like right now I'm treating my left arm like it's lead. I don't want to pick it up. My right arm is like, look what I can do, which is great. But most of the drama was my left arm. And when I go like this now, the side of my left boob is actually round. It's not this like wacko amoeba. So it makes me happy, and I'm just grateful for so many things. My plastic surgeon is amazing, and my friends are just amazing, and my 2 boys are just amazing, and I'm just grateful. I'm so grateful. I know I talked so much before about the negative stuff, but like I'm just so grateful for what I have. I'm like looking over there, my son got me lilies, which are my favorite flower, and my friend who dropped off dinner got me a little, I don't even know what kind of flowers they are because I haven't been over there, in a pretty pot, and it's like a hot pink color. It's not like pink. Oh, you know what? Both the flowers are pink. I just realized, but I don't really hate pink anymore. I'm like surrounded by pink right now. And then of course there's Tex. I thought Tex would be the best thing to have under my arm, but he's not. He's too full. The pillows that I have are they're like these flat pillows. Not flat, but like they're long and they're not as like fluffy and like high. I can't think of the word as he is. All right, so I'm gonna go to sleep and see what happens. I did not get a mattress topper for my bed, by the way, and I'm glad that actually I didn't, because I feel like it would just cause more problems with having to hop into bed. So don't make any last minute big decisions about things to buy that you think you need, because you probably don't. Like I spent $70 on a friggin' sweatshirt that's super comfy, that had pockets in it for the drains, and like don't have drains. So whatever. All right, I feel nauseous, gotta go. Thank you for the support. And yeah, that's it. Bye.